with another YouTube video. In today's video, we're gonna let's talk about the Ant-Man movies, or Ant-Man and the Wasp, or whatever. Basically, the Ant-Man movie and the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie that came out in 2015 and 2019, respectively. And yeah, if you're unfamiliar with this, these Let's Talk videos are more of just me talking about like movies or TV shows, whatever, more freely, and also I can do two movies at the same time instead of making two different videos or four different videos in some cases. And yeah, that's what I'm doing for these. They're kind of like a review, kind of not. But yeah, let's get into this. I recently watched these, so they're all kind of fresh in my mind. So yeah, let's get into this. So yeah, let's start off with Ant-Man and the Wall. I mean Ant-Man, sorry. Ant-Man 1 that came out 2015. Now, in my opinion, Ant-Man has some really good casting. Like, they have a lot of good casting. I mean, Paul Rudd is pretty good. Michael Douglas, Michael Pena, a whole bunch of different, like, more of comedy. And I don't think Michael Douglas is really comedy, but he's more of an actor. But he's a good actor, honestly. I really enjoy his acting. I actually watched recently a show with him in it. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, that's besides the point. But he was good in that as well. But yeah, I'll just say this: they did all a very good job in this. Um, yeah, Ant-Man 1. I'm gonna say when I'm doing these Let's Talk videos, I'm gonna say three things I like and three things I didn't like. So yeah, definitely some stuff I liked. The music was good. Comedy was spot on. I really enjoyed it for the laughs and stuff. Fight scenes, they could have been done better. I'm gonna say that under kind of dislike. Honestly, I didn't really. The fight scenes weren't too good. I mean, the ending fight scene where it's Yellow Jacket versus Ant Man. Uh, that was good, but like the other parts, I didn't really enjoy, honestly, in terms of fighting. But yeah, uh, acting was actually really spot on. Yeah, that's three things I really like. Things that I think could have been done better is definitely again fight scenes. I think the story could have been done a little bit better. I like the story. It just could have been done much better. I don't know if it was because Edgar Wright pretty much just left, or I don't know why, but the story could have been done way more better. Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything else to really say. Um, yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. Let's just talk about my kind of initial reactions. To be honest with you, my opinion on this movie is that it is a solid comedy film. Now, is it a solid like movie or a solid comic book movie? Personally, I don't think so. Um, I mean, it kind of tells it right, but like, I don't know. Comic book wise, I can't really get behind it, honestly. There's definitely a lot of like flukes and stuff, and I think it's driving a lot from because originally, if you didn't know, Edgar Wright was supposed to direct this or something, and he, I think, wrote the script as well. But then he ended up leaving because of creative differences or something. So yeah, he was gone. Yeah, it's kind of sad to see because I really like Edgar Wright's movies. I mean, he created one of my favorite movies, in Baby Driver. I enjoy that movie a lot. And I think it would be really cool if he had made Ant Man as well. But you can definitely tell in terms of the jokes and stuff, some of the music and stuff. It was kind of made by him. But yeah, yeah, that's kind of really what saves the movie. To be honest with you, in all honesty, I would have probably not liked it if it wasn't kind of funny. Because a lot of stuff is funny. I think Michael Pena does a good job of making me laugh and stuff, and other people as well. Paul Rudd, kinda. I mean, I laugh more at like Michael Pena and that whole group, and more than Paul Rudd and stuff. Yeah, definitely the story is alright, honestly. Yeah, the more I think about the character of Yellow Jacket, the more I think of like, what the hell? Why was this like? Why was he the villain? I think I'm pretty sure he's a villain. He is a villain in the comics, but personally, myself, I know of him more as the second coming of Hank Pym, and then Scott Lang takes the mantle of Ant-Man. That's what I like. I don't even think this was in the comics, but I didn't uh like Hank Pym was never like old like this, like old, way older than Scott Lang, to the point where he's like a not an old man, but like he can't be in the suit pretty much compared to Scott Lang. That's just something I know. I mean, it could have happened in the comics. I haven't read all comics, but personally, of what I know, I'm not saying it was bad, but I actually kind of enjoyed the kind of way it was with like Hank Pym and Scott's relationship in terms of Hank being much older. Hope Van Dyne was pretty interesting character in this. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like her character in this. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I didn't really like her character. I thought she was just like some kind of not grump, but like I kind of understand what she was trying to do, but I don't know. I didn't really like her as a character. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. Wasn't a huge fan. Yeah. Honestly, in the rating system, I would probably give Ant Man. I would say like an 8 out of 10, or maybe 7 out of 10. Uh, yeah. It's just the movie's good. I would rank it more in like the better MCU movies, but at the same time, it's mostly comedy that's saving it. Um, yeah. All right, let's move on to Ant Man and the Wasp, or Ant Man 2. It's called Ant Man and the Wasp. All right. So this movie was all right. It takes place after the events of Civil War. Ant Man is kind of wanted, and so is the Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne or whatever. I believe her name's Hope Van Dyne. I don't know if she changed her name to like Hope Pym or whatever, but yeah, that's what she's known in the first movie, or Wasp or whatever. So they're all wanted by I think the FBI slash. They're gonna get arrested because Scott is now home arrested or whatever. So yeah, this movie, I'm gonna say three things I liked, three things that could have changed. The comedy was good. The action scenes got arguably much better. Villain could have been, or I'll save that for 2 seconds. But comedy was good again. Action scenes were much better. Uh, the action scenes, acting was good as well. I mean, Paul Rudd does a really good job in playing Ant-Man. Music was also good too as well. Um, yeah, it's like honestly, it's like they turned down the comedy. The comedy, say in the first one, was at 10, and the action was at 5. I think what they did now is they turned down the comedy to like maybe a 7, and then boosted up the action to about like a 7 as well, or something like that, or 8. That's what I think was really good with this movie is, yeah, I mean, the comedy really saves it. Like, I mean, Michael Pena's character was kind of turned down, as well as the other two. I can't remember their names, but yeah, it was really funny, especially with that Baba Yaga thing. That was funny. Sonny Birch, new addition. Uh, yeah, he was whatever. Honestly, now for three things I would have changed. Villain was terrible. Honestly, I didn't really like the villain in this movie. Yeah. Two would probably be again a little bit of the story. The story just, I don't know. I didn't like the story that much in this. Number three would probably be Uh, Paul Rudd is sometimes he's overacting a little bit. Not overreacted. I mean overacting a little bit, and I like it and dislike it at the same time. I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just like, what are you doing, kind of thing. Um, yeah, the story could have just been much better. Like, pretty much the story was just literally Ant-Man and the Wasp are on the run. They run into some like criminals or whatever. They want tech from them or whatever. Uh, they're trying to get back Hope's mother, or Janet Van. I think it's Janet Van Dyne as well. But yeah, they're trying to do that. Some girl who can phase through everything, named Ghost, tries to get them, and then it all ends with Janet Van Dyne coming back, and also Ghost end up kind of get resurrected, whatever, and Sonny Burch going to jail. Now, in all honesty, I don't really like the story. I dislike just Ghost. In general, I thought she was just, even if she stayed evil, I didn't even like her. I didn't even really like her as the villain. I think they could have done much better, but some would argue that Sonny Burch is like the villain, and some would argue that it's Ghost. Now, honestly, I would say it's more Sonny Burch, honestly, because Ghost wasn't really villainous or whatever. She wasn't. Uh, yeah, another thing is also with Bill Foster. In the comics, I believe he's known as the Goliath or Blue Goliath or something. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what his name, but it's something with Goliath, right? And in comics, he's a superhero, right? So yeah, I find that was kind of stupid, honestly, because there's still a hope for him, but like I didn't think he was that. It would have been much interesting if we knew about him and the Goliath thing or whatever. So I found that he was very downplayed as well. Um, yeah, again, they decreased the role of Michael Pena and the other two guys. I can't remember what the other two guys' name is, but yeah, they downgraded their role, and I think it just negatively affected this film. Just because they were making me laugh and stuff in the first one, but they weren't really around too much. They had maybe like 10 minutes screen time or like 15 minutes out of like a 2 hour movie, and yeah, I just wish we could have saw more of them. Again, also another thing would be how it ties in with Infinity War. Um, I found it a little bit strange how they were talking a lot about. Um, they didn't talk a lot about. They talked more about Civil War, right? But in the end, post credit scene, it ties in with Infinity War because we see Hope and Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne all just come back, and I thought that was. I mean, not sorry, not come back. They got flipped or whatever, or dusted or whatever you want to call it. Basically, they're gone. I thought that was very not like. I thought that was really well done, kind of thing. But yeah, that's how it kind of ties into Infinity War. Uh, yeah, I think it was this movie incomparable to the first one is much like more different. I'm taking a guess it's because, of course, I don't know who wrote this movie, but Edgar Wright wrote the first one, right? So obviously they're going to be different writing styles and stuff. But again, that happens with a lot of movies too. You have to remember that. But this movie felt a lot more like kitted out. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I felt when I first saw this movie, I was just like, this is very like kids kind of movie. Like it didn't have any components for someone over the age of 12. Honestly, and I know what you're gonna say. Oh, it's Disney. They want that stuff. But compared to the first one, I would have. This is like. This is like very toned down. It's not like anything bad or anything or whatever. And I thought that was pretty interesting as well. So yeah. Anyways, the final ranking would probably be for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Would probably be a 6.5 out of 10. I didn't really enjoy it, but I can watch it easy. It's just, yeah, I can't say I love it or anything, but yeah. Anyways, you guys, if you've been paying attention to what I've been saying, Ant-Man, I think Ant-Man is going to be the better choice over, in my opinion, is better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, comment down below what you guys think of these movies, or which one do you like better, Ant-Man and the Wasp or Ant-Man? Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.